And welcome back to another video. I went 11-2 after 13 game slate this past week, and I was gonna post a video about Tennessee and Georgia. Um, you know, didn't really come around to it, and it didn't post. But we were kind of disappointed by the loss of Tennessee and that team. Georgia's going to win the national championship. There's no doubt about it. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But, you never know. But anyway, go ahead and get right into it. And by the way, I'm going to try to do a little quicker of my videos. That means no more score. I'm going to tell you what score I think is going to happen. And for the first game, we've got the Saints and the Steelers. The Saints losing on Monday night. What seemed like the game was not even competitive to begin with, although it was a little lower score in the first half. The Ravens found their offense and capitalized on it. And the Steelers had a bye week. The week before, I believe they played the Eagles. They kept it close there for a little bit. And, well, unexpectedly, they were blown out. Well, I'm going to try to do this a little bit better than I have been. I'm going to take the Steelers to win this one. It's just because, you know what, instead of that, I'm going to keep everything on here, and then I'm just going to write just a check to see who I'm picking. And I'm picking the Steelers just because. Sorry. No. I did not pick the Steelers. I picked the Saints because they've got a good defense. They need to heal some more. I believe Kenny Pickett will try to find something, but the Saints are going to need a win. People are saying, I saw somebody said something like on YouTube somewhere that said, this is a win that they needed to get. Yeah, it was on YouTube. So this was a win they needed to get, and if they were to win this one, they would have turned the season around. But since they lost, it really didn't mean anything. So I'm going to pick the Saints to upset the Steelers. Kind of an upset, but, they have the same record pretty much. But just saying, Saints win 23-20. And next up, what could be an intriguing matchup between the Broncos and the Titans. The Broncos played the Jags, I believe. They were on a bye this past week. And they barely won. But, the Jags got a bounce back week finally and survived that one narrowly. And then we got the Titans who almost beat the Chiefs. They would have got their sixth straight consecutive win, but they lost, and now they're looking for another win. And non-ironically, because I said that, I'm going to pick the Titans to win because they got a good defense. They played against the Chiefs very well. And the Broncos, they're trying to find themselves. They've turned their season around. This is just not how they're going to turn their season around, though. I'm picking the win 23-19. A weird score, I know. But Titans win in a little bit of a shootout in the second half, but first half, defensive battle. Titans win. And next up, we got the Browns and the Dolphins. The Browns were on a bye week the week before. They blew out. Absolutely blew out of the water against the Bengals, who did not have Ja'Marr Chase, by the way. They didn't have Ja'Marr Chase this past week. Of course, they won. The Bengals were on a bye week, by the way, so look, we're talking about them now instead of later. But the Dolphins, they nearly lost to the Bears. And the Bears are a very underrated team who, by the way, also, no. They don't have a bye week this week. But, the Bears played good. We're going to talk about them in a couple of games, but probably won't be too much longer. And anyway, they can fly. This might be a very defensive battle. It might be a bit of an offensive shootout. Who knows? Logo's a little bit big there. I am going to pick the Dolphins because They have a much better roster than the Browns. I believe the Browns, are going to get some pieces back that they need, to prove that they can. They had a very underrated defense 2 weeks on Monday night, and they somehow, someway went against a good Bengals team. But however, the Dolphins a little bit better. They're going to move to 7-3 after this win, and well, we may have to get them in for contention for the playoffs, maybe the division. And next up, we got the Jags and the Chiefs. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. Now, hold on. This will be a better game. I know. It's going to be a little lower scoring on that game between these two. Just in the 20s. But anyway, this game, it's going to be a little close. I know that they're saying a lot coming from the Jags, but they won against... the Raiders are good. We can think of the Raiders this year as the 2019 Browns. They had a lot of talent. They're expected to go to the playoffs, make a run. Look what they did in 2020 compared to 2019. They went 6-10. Flip that. They went almost 10-6, but they went 11-5. They nearly, possibly made the playoffs, but they just, they couldn't do it. We can compare the Raiders to the Browns. I believe we will be talking about them in a moment. The game after this one. But anyway, the Jags, they won against a decent Raiders team. And the Chiefs barely won against the Titans, which is actually kind of a better game than normal. But I am going to pick the Chiefs because they have a better roster. Close, though. 30-27, a little higher scoring game than normal. I believe the Chiefs will have to have a run for their money in this one in a game-winning drive by Patrick Mahomes in the last seconds to win this one. 30-27. Chiefs win. And the Colts and the Raiders. Why? Just why? I did not know who to pick for this one. I wonder if I don't know if I can flip it right quick. Do I have any? Is anything like it is? I can change my pick if I want to. Between who's the better team in this one and who needs a win, that's the question. Can pick the Colts. I cannot pick the Colts. So I'm going to have to go with the Raiders. Now, I would pick them, but they won't let me do it. So I'm going to pick the Raiders 17-14. It's going to be, you know what? It'll be in the 20s, 27-23. It's going to be a little higher scoring. I believe the Raiders offense can do some damage. But this might be Derek Carr's last year as a Las Vegas Raider. So, watch out. Raiders win. And the Colts' first game without Frank Reich will be in a loss. And next up, we got an NFC North battle between the Lions and the Bears. The Lions. No words for what I picked them. I picked them because I thought, I would have gotten 10-3 if I wouldn't have. But 11-2 sure sounds better than 11-2. So, 10-3. So, this is they won because it went 11-2. They won. That's the reason. Well, because they won 11-2, yeah. The Bears, they played good against Chicago. But, this might be a sneaky good game that is not even on television. We could say, for the example, that this is one of the underrated games of the year. But I will pick the Lions because they got a better offense. Their defense played well against Green Bay, who, they're not a bad team. They could probably beat up on Houston and win. It'd be kind of close. Or Atlanta or Carolina. It just depends. But, yeah. Lions win in a shootout 33-30. It could be a low-key underrated game of the year. Lions win. And what is on America's Game of the Week, but for what reason is unknown, between the Cowboys and the Packers. The Cowboys were on a bye. They won against Chicago 2 weeks ago, I believe. And their offense showed out. Tony Pollard was elusive in that one, taking Zeke's spot pretty much, and he might get traded after this year. But where he's going to go is the question, because after what he's been doing in the past 2 years, who knows what he's going to do. And the Packers losing to the Detroit Lions, which would be kind of a good thing, because that division right now, you know, they were a 1-6 team. They're a 2-6 team now. That division, all of them are at least 4 to 3 games under 500. Meanwhile, Minnesota is 6 games over 500. So watch out for them heading to the latter half of the year. But Week 10 is upon us, by the way. Sorry, I tried to say something. I am going to pick the Cowboys because, look, I don't think Odell is going to be there by this week. If so, then that'll be something that would never happen. He's going to be here sometime before Thanksgiving, I'm sure, so he can play on Thanksgiving against the Giants. But, like, you got to admit that a lot of things that the Cowboys are going to do, if he goes to Dallas, that offense is going to be a lot better than what they think they are. And going all in this situation is probably the best thing for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan. You know, I favor them. This game's going to be a lot better. I believe Aaron Rodgers will pick up the pace, but just not enough to win. It'll be in the 30s, 38 to 35. I mean, it's going to be a little higher scoring, maybe lower scoring. Dallas might blow them out. But Dallas wins, maybe in a shootout. They don't let me have to do this game. Falcons and Panthers on Thursday night? No, we're not doing that. Give us something else. I mean, you flexed the Sunday night game next week between the Chargers and the Chiefs, which I think was a good idea. Because I don't know what was originally there. But anyway, Falcons lost to the Chargers. They're going to be playing in a couple of days against the Panthers, who, by the way, just lost in a blowout. This game is not going to be good. They played 2 weeks prior to this, pretty much. Now they're looking to repeat what they just did. I am going to pick the Falcons to sweep the Panthers for some time in a bit. But the Panthers just are not looking like themselves. They're a lot worse than they were last year. I mean, they start out 3-0, but, this is a lot worse than what they've done. They expected to be a very bad team. So far, they're doing that. So far, the Falcons are trying to contend for the first place in that division and go to the playoffs. That's a lot. For the Falcons to even have 4 wins in the beginning of the season is something to some people. Falcons are going to win, though. 26-23, I think it's going to be a little bit of a shootout, not too much of a shootout. I know I'm speaking a little bit fast, but still. Falcons win. It may be a good game. Who knows? And now on what could be a pretty good game on Sunday in Munich, Germany, for the first time in NFL history. Brady could be the first player to ever have a win in 4 different countries. I guess counting Mexico City. Estadio Azteca, which is where they play in Mexico City. In London, in Germany, and in America, of course. But still, the Seahawks are looking to possibly make that not happen. He may retire this year, by the way. You know what? If they do make that happen, that's going to be something. And I don't know what that something might be. But the Bucs are trying to contend for a playoff spot. They are first in the division right now. Every single team in the division has a losing record. And meanwhile, to your opposites, the AFC East division is rocking with all teams over 500 instead of the AFC West. So, yeah, I'm going to pick the Seahawks in kind of an upset win. I mean, it's against Brady, who has a losing record, but still, you're playing against the GOAT, who has never played in Germany before. He says it's going to be rocking. It possibly will be rocking. But the Seahawks are going to take that momentum away from Brady. I think their underrated defense is going to play pretty good. Tariq Woolen, the rookie, has 4 interceptions on the year. That's something for the Seahawks that they need to contend for the playoffs. To go to 7-3 on the year. A very unexpected 7-3, by the way. But Seahawks win 30-26. And next up, the Texans and the Giants. The Texans losing on Thursday night. They thought they could contend there for a minute. They scored the first touchdown of the night. And all red, I thought they were actually going to do it. In the second half, like I said, it was going to be close. Just not close enough to get the win. However, Giants were on a bye. The week before that, they lost to who now is a very good Seahawks team. Well, you know I'm going to pick. I am going to pick the Giants to win because I think they're a little bit better. Maybe a lot more better than the Texans right now. The Texans are going to keep it close, however. It'll be 20-17, maybe a little bit closer, like a 1-point victory maybe. But still, I think the Giants might be contenders. It's going to be a close one because, the Texans, they played close. They're going to try to ride with that momentum to play against the Giants. If the Giants lose to this one, it'd be kind of sad. But Giants win in a close one. And next up, what we could have thought would have been a good one to watch, but Carson Wentz got injured. So now we got the Commanders and the Eagles. Commanders lost in a close one. They had a 10-point lead, choked it away just a bit, lost 20-17. The Eagles almost losing in a close one. They were down 7 early, came back a little bit. The Texans kept it close. Eagles was too much firepower for them. Their defense was too hot. Their offense was explosive. At least they scored points, This could be a sneaky good game on Monday night. I have it, we knew that Cowboys-Eagles game was going to be good on Sunday night. We had it coming. They had it coming. We all had it coming. This could be a sneaky good game as well. I think that the Commanders are going to play good against the 9-0 Eagles, who are trying to get to 10-0. Now, they will do it on Monday night. It's going to be a close one, however. High scoring, 40-37. I know, it's going to be close. It's going to come down to possibly a field goal, possibly a last play drive, possibly the Commanders are going to try to come back and score, and they can't quite do it. So the Eagles are going to go to 10-0, being the only undefeated team in this year's league. Eagles could go undefeated, having only 8 games left. 8 games left in their entire, schedule, and it's not looking too bad. Now, the Cowboys are looking to upset them at home. They might do it. Just don't know. Eagles win and a high-scoring close one. And next up, we got the Cardinals at the Rams. The Cardinals losing, and what was a close one against the Seahawks. And the Rams losing what was also a close one in Tampa. Now, the Cardinals, I have them winning, but it's a close one. Lower scoring one, 26-23. I believe that they're going to have a last-minute drive that will end without a field goal. However, the Cardinals are looking to try to keep that momentum going, by trying not to be under 500 the entire year. They're trying to stay under 500, over 500. Get back to 500 at least. And they're going to try to do it against the Rams. I believe they will do it. 26-23. And then the Chargers and the 49ers, I believe, is on Sunday night. I can look it up. Let's see. I'm trying to look it up on my computer right now. Hang on. Okay, this is also a Sunday night game. I picked the Niners, so that means they got to win next week. I kind of have them doing that. But because you could ask the question, who cares, right? Who cares? Well, I care. Niners are going to win, and they're a pretty good one, actually, 30-26. Their team is way too good. They're trying to contend for a Super Bowl, and they're going to try to get it by making the playoffs in the first place. But still, 49ers are looking like the 80s again and somewhat the 90s. They win 30-26 in a good one on Sunday night. And that is it for Week 10. Week 11 will be next week. As a reminder, I went 11. Just take that. 11-2 this week, which is my best ever. And I never had. I could have gone undefeated had I chosen. Well, had I chosen the Jets and the Jags, had I chosen them, I would have gone undefeated. Gone undefeated. And that is it for this week. See you guys next week.